guys, so here's something that you probably didn't know about me. I'm a big movie buff, so one of the most highly anticipated movies of the past couple of months was definitely the Deadpool movie. Now, as soon as it came out, I was like, I have to see this. It looks super funny. If you watch the trailers or if you even just look at the posters, you will know what I mean. And if you haven't been living under a rock, you will know what this movie is about and what this movie means to a lot of people. They have been trying to make this movie for over 10 years, which means that Ryan Reynolds got the script in his hands over 10 years ago. Now, I don't know what that is to wait for something for 10 years, but let me tell you, after you've seen this movie, you will definitely decide it was well worth the wait. Now, so what went down was basically they finally had permission to basically shoot some test footage. So Ryan Reynolds, the writer, they all got together and shot a little bit of the test footage. Now, they sent this to Fox, and Fox decided to kind of wait out. They weren't as excited as they thought they would be, and they just thought it was probably a very big risk, a superhero movie that was going to be rated R. It could have gotten dangerous. Now, some of these four people, one of these four people, we don't know which one, might have accidentally leaked this test footage. The fans jumped on this footage, basically started stalking and calling and writing and sending video messages, and basically, I'm pretty sure anything but threatened their lives, maybe that happened as well, into them making this movie. Now, the fans were this excited for a little bit of test footage. Fox probably thought they were going to be even more excited for seeing a whole 2-hour film of this. So, I went to see the movie, and as I said, I watched the trailers, I saw the movie posters and expected it to be extremely funny. Now, let me tell you, you will not be disappointed. If you expect this movie to be funny, expect it to be funnier than whatever you had in mind. I don't think there's like 2 minutes in the movie without there being a joke that's getting cracked, and so jokes all around, whether it's an action sequence, whether it's even a romantic scene, there will be a joke involved, and the joke doesn't spare anyone, and I mean anyone. They joke about the X-Men universe, they joke about Wolverine, they will joke about Hugh Jackman, who plays Wolverine. Ryan Reynolds, who plays Deadpool, will even joke about Ryan Reynolds. It's insane. Nothing is off limits in this movie, which is probably why it's rated R. So let's just start with the first thing. The obvious thing, if you watch the trailers or have looked at the posters. It's funny. It's not just a little bit funny, it is hilariously funny. It is abs hurting, stomach hurting funny. There is not 2 minutes that go by in this movie without there being a joke. Now, and this joke is not just a regular joke. It can be about anything. It breaks a lot of grounds. It breaks the fourth wall, which is something that not a lot of movies do, and a lot of movies are able to do, because it just doesn't fit. He even breaks the 16th wall. If you have seen the movie, you'll get what I mean. If you are not a superhero fan, which I get, there's a lot of people who don't like the science fiction, who don't like all the effects, who aren't really into all that supernatural kind of stuff, and they just don't get it. But I will tell you, even if you don't like superheroes, go and watch this movie. It is funny, it will entertain you, it will keep you in your seat bawling from laughter. Now let me tell you a little bit about this character of Deadpool, aka Wade Wilson. Now, Wade Wilson started out as a military guy, then moved on to becoming a mercenary, got engaged, and then sadly got diagnosed with terminal cancer. Now, he had accepted his fate, he knew he was gonna die, and that's just what was gonna happen. And then just one guy, who he calls Mr. Smith in the movie, comes along and ruins it all by giving him hope, by giving him a possible means of staying alive, of getting the cancer to disappear. The only little side effect is that the mutant gene in his body would be activated, meaning something was going to happen to him. It was going to be superhuman strength, or maybe shooting lasers out of his eyes, who knows. Something was going to happen to him, but in return he was going to be able to stay alive, stay with his girlfriend or fiance, and that offer was just basically too good to pass up. Basically what happens, you say, activating the mutant gene, how does one do that? Now apparently one does that, or at least in this movie, one does that by torture. Oh yes, and not just any kind of torture, but relentless torture. And I'm not saying days, I'm not saying weeks, I'm saying months. And it's not pretty. It's basically, they're trying everything under the sun to basically get him as close to death as possible, which means that the mutant gene would get activated. Now in this process he becomes very badly scarred. He gets basically compared to an avocado, or two really old shrinkled avocados who had sex and made a baby, and that's what comes out. During the rest of this movie, Deadpool is trying to find the guy who did this to him, who made him look really, really scarred. And the guy's name is Francis, aka Ajax. Ajax is what everyone else knows him as, but his real name is Francis. He's the British evil guy, as he's explained in the opening credits. And so basically that's what he does in the beginning of the movie. During the whole movie, he's just trying to get to this guy who has promised, or said, not really promised, who has said that he can make him look pretty again. This performance of Ryan Reynolds is something that you have to see. If you're a fan of Ryan Reynolds, but you're not a fan of superheroes, you will still really love this movie, because Ryan Reynolds excels in this movie. He basically shows a side that I don't think we've been able to see in a lot of his movies, which is the funny side. And I'm not just saying the like casual funny side, I'm saying the hilariously funny side. Ryan Reynolds basically embodies Deadpool to me, so I don't think there's anybody else who could have played this character better than he did. He gets the funny, he gets the serious, he gets the romance in this movie, he gets who Deadpool is, I think, in my opinion, and he makes you fall in love with Deadpool, which is pretty mad, since he's a murdering lunatic, and it's just something that he does with this character that makes you fall in love with him. So if you are a fan of Ryan Reynolds, but you aren't really a fan of superhero movies, please still go and watch this movie, because this is Ryan Reynolds like you haven't seen him before. He had a lot to make up for, because he starred in a movie, a superhero movie called The Green Lantern. People didn't really like it. Let's just leave it at that. People just didn't like it. So he knew, and a lot of the fans knew, that he had a lot to make up for. Now, he does in this movie. The fact that you can tell the difference, whether it's like after torture Ryan Reynolds or before torture Ryan Reynolds, or Wade Wilson, basically, it says a lot about the actor. It couldn't have been easy to have to jump between the two. I don't know if they shot it chronologically. Usually they don't. But it takes a lot of practice, and it takes a really good actor, I think, to show that kind of stuff. To really show the fact that the character is different, and not in a physical way. Obviously he has a suit on when he's Deadpool. But it's just the jokes, even the nature of the jokes is different. The way he says the jokes, the way he just carries himself is very different. The music, the action scenes, the funny, the Ryan Reynolds, it's all in there. If you're a fan of superhero movies, you're definitely gonna enjoy the kind of origin story that they tell. You're definitely gonna enjoy the action scenes. You're definitely gonna enjoy the showing up of two very beloved X-Men. then also for your non-superhero fans, you're gonna love the funny, you're gonna love the romance, because the romance story is very well told. It makes a lot of sense. It's not like you don't understand why he wants to look pretty and why he wants to be with this girl. It makes sense. If you watch this movie, it will make sense why he's risking all of this for one girl. It does. So they spend enough time to kind of explain that side of it. So you have the romance for people who enjoy that. You have the comedy for people who enjoy that. And then you have the action scenes for people who enjoy that. Now, people who like the special effects will also be very happy about this movie. It's basically the next big Marvel movie. Now, I'm gonna go on record again and say that this is a completely different kind of movie. I don't think there's any movie out there like this that breaks that fourth wall and it doesn't seem strange. Now, I think this character, the Deadpool character, is the only guy that this will work with. Because he is that funny, and he is that ironic, and he is that self-involved in himself. And he knows he's in a movie, and it works. It just works. So I can go on and on about why I loved this movie, but mainly for me what sold it was the funny. I mean, there hasn't been a movie in a really, really long time that got me to laugh that much, that consistently throughout the entire movie. And I'm not just saying making me laugh, I'm saying making like 14 people that I went with. We went with a whole bunch of people and everyone laughed. I mean, that means that there's something in there for everyone. And the fact that this movie has that is what's... It might just be my favorite movie of 2016 already. I know 2016 just started, but that's just how much faith I have in this movie and how awesome this movie is. So if you want to do yourself a favor, if you want to relax, if you want to just have fun and enjoy a nice, good movie that you might be able to take your boyfriend to, or your girlfriend, and know that they're gonna enjoy it as well, definitely do it with this movie. So this was basically my very chat review about the movie Deadpool. I hope this made you a little bit excited about watching the movie. If you have watched the movie, I hope you had as much fun at it as I did. If you want to see more of this, please subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!